Hi, my name's Amelia and I'm going to show you a few road trips that you can take if you're staying or just visiting Byron Bay. So we're going to go to Minyon Falls today. It rained quite a lot this morning, so I'm hopeful that we might be able to see quite a lot at the falls. The drive to Minyon Falls from Byron Bay takes around 40 minutes and it's super easy, but there are some parts when you start to go uphill that you definitely don't want to be looking to your left. There was also plenty of space in the car park and there were picnic benches around and places to just sit and chill. When I reached the top, the view really was breathtaking. I don't have a fear of heights, but getting to the end of the platform actually made me a bit nervous. Even though it is on ground, it's just so high up. The drive up actually was also a little bit scary. Just don't look to your left when you're driving and you'll be fine. Get to the bottom of the waterfall. There are two different hikes that you can do. One's 2 hours and one's 4 hours, and there isn't actually another way to get to the bottom of the waterfall unless you do the hike. So come prepared if you do want to do that. Good morning guys! So today we're off to Killen Falls, which is around a 25-minute drive from the centre of Byron. Apparently there's only like 6 parking spots, so I don't really know what we're going to do if we don't find any parking, but I'm sure there'll be some nearby. And yeah, I'm really excited to see the waterfalls, so let's go. The drive to Killen Falls is super easy, and I visited on a weekday, so I was a bit surprised when I got there and found that the car park was full. However, just slightly up the road there is an overflow car park and there was a lot of space. This is what the staircase looks like, so make sure you bring some proper walking shoes. You'll also need to climb over quite a lot of rocks to get to the waterfall, but it's definitely worth it. Remember to bring a change of clothes and a towel if you do go into the water, but just so you know, the water is absolutely freezing, but it's quite refreshing on a hot day. I've just finished at Killen Falls. It is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful, but it is not something I would recommend if you have like mobility problems, because you have to climb down a very steep staircase, and it's not proper steps, it's like actual big rocks, and any of them could slip at any time, so you really do have to be careful. Also, I would never go after a period of rain because it would probably be impossible to climb the stairs because everything gets so slippy. So just keep that in mind if you are coming. But otherwise it's absolutely beautiful. The water is really cold. You can bring your swim stuff. It's also really quiet, which is nice. When I read about the reviews on TripAdvisor, originally I thought it was going to be pretty lame, but I've really loved it. I know it's just a small waterfall, but it's so incredible. And the fact that you can go directly underneath it as well, I think just makes it even more impressive. So definitely come here if you have the time. You're in Byron Bay. Today we are off to Castle Shambhala Gardens. I debated going here because I think it's like $50 per person, which is quite a lot, and I didn't really want to spend the money because I wasn't sure if it'd be worth it. But I thought, I'm only here once, let's go, let's see what it's like, and I'll give you my honest opinion and let you know whether or not I think it's worth it. So just to start, a positive, there was plenty of parking space. And as soon as we arrived, we were actually in time for the crystal sound healing, which is when they make some relaxing, peaceful sounds with some singing bowls. The crystal singing bowls are supposed to allow you to relax and also meditate. Everyone seemed to really enjoy it. However, for me, it just kind of reminded me of when I had tinnitus, but that's more of a personal thing. I think everybody else would have a good time. The grounds are well maintained and you can really tell that someone put a lot of thought and care into the layout. Of course, the main focus is crystals, and there are a lot of them. I think the dragon egg they have is over 120 million years old, which is kind of cool. They also have the world's tallest geodes. Even though I'm not into crystals, I can definitely still appreciate their beauty. The Bamboo Avenue walk in particular was my favourite. I really enjoyed walking around the Peace Stupa. There is a belief that if you walk around it clockwise and turn the prayer wheels, you'll receive some inner peace. There's also quite a big cafe where you can grab something to eat, and they also have a gift shop where they sell a whole load of different types of crystals. So I just finished. I was there for probably around an hour and a half. I think I actually had a really good time. I surprised myself. I'm not into crystals at all, but I can appreciate that some people are. Gardens are really, really well maintained. So even if you don't like crystals, you might just enjoy having a walk around the garden. However, I will say that the entry price is a bit steep for what it is, but I can kind of understand why it's that price. They have a lot of grounds to maintain. So I would say just come with an open mind. If you're not really into crystals, you're probably not going to enjoy it. I even bought a crystal. I'm not a crystal person, but maybe after this, maybe I can learn to be. On the way back, we pulled into a lay-by and discovered it was Scarabolotti's Lookout. So today we are on our way to Springbrook National Park. It's around an hour and a half drive from Byron Bay. It's actually closer to the Gold Coast, but we didn't have enough time to do it on the way down. So now we're going to have to go back up and do it. We're going to start off at the Natural Bridge, and then you can drive around and there are other lookout stops on the way, but we'll see what it's like. It's kind of a cloudy day today as well, which is probably quite good because I didn't really want to be out in the sun for too long. My advice for anyone who's driving from Byron Bay up to Springbrook National Park would be just stay on the M1 for as long as you can. We came off a bit early and the roads are just really, really windy, they're really slow. So if you can, just stay on the M1 because I think your life will be a lot easier. Honestly, this journey was just so windy and there were so many turns. I was so glad when we finally arrived. And again, there was no one there, which is always a bonus. So we've just arrived. They have loads and loads of parking. It was really easy to find a space. It's so quiet today. I mean, it is a weekday. And then they also have toilets, and they are flushable toilets as well. So they're not like the hole in the ground ones. So it's a lot nicer. Now, if you're going to see the cave, you'll need to do the Natural Bridge circuit, and this is one way, meaning you can't come back on yourself. However, I did see a lot of people walking the wrong way, and I think it was just because it was quite quiet, so I don't really think it matters too much if you do decide you want to start it and then want to come back up. So I'm currently doing the walking track. I think it takes an hour from start to finish, so we'll see. I've worn trousers because I heard there were bugs. I can't actually see any bugs, but maybe that's because it's a bit cool today. So just bear that in mind. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What was that? What was... Oh my god. Wear trousers, guys. Wear trousers. As you walk through the ancient Gondwana rainforest, there is a lot to see. Some of the plants and the trees in the forest area are from the Jurassic Age, which is over 180 million years ago. There's a great view of the cave from the outside, and you can also go inside, and if you come at night you can see a resident colony of protected glowworms. The waterfall, can you hear the bird? So the waterfall is actually a lot louder than I thought it was going to be, and it's so cool because when you go in as well, on the left hand side there's loads of bats, and if you come in the evening as well they also have glowworms so you can see them. I couldn't see them because obviously it's daylight, but if you come in the evening, which I wish I could do, you get to see the glowworms. But the cave is really cool, the waterfall's really nice as well. You can't swim in it though, sadly. Trees here are super cool. Look at this. I don't know how long this, I don't know how old this tree is, but look at it. It's amazing. It took around 15 minutes to get to the cave and then another 15 minutes to come up. They said it takes around an hour, but actually I don't think it takes that long. It depends how long you stay at the cave. So worth the trip though. So we just finished at the natural bridge and now we're gonna drive around to the Springbrook Falls, which is another half an hour. We ended up at Hinze Dam because we missed our turning. So we're gonna have a little look here and then we're just gonna hit the road again and go back to Springbrook Falls. So we ended up stopping off at Hinze Dam, and actually it ended up being probably a really good idea because we've managed to go to the toilets, wash our hands, and now we're just getting a bit of food. And the view here is really nice. So actually it kind of worked out for the best. Contrary to popular belief, this dam was not built by beavers. This was an unexpected stop, but I actually found it very interesting. The dam was originally constructed in 1976 and it was recently upgraded in 2011. The dam is the main drinking water supply for the Gold Coast region. After that quick stop at the dam, we are back in the car and we're on the way to Springbrook Falls. If you're driving to Springbrook Falls, then you might as well take a quick 15-minute drive to Best of All Lookout. As the name suggests, it's supposed to have the best view. You climb a few stairs, walk for around 10 minutes in the forest, and then you finally get to see it. So we just saw Best of All Lookout. It's really high up and it gives you such a fantastic view, and actually we can even see Byron Bay from the view. There are also some Antarctic beech trees here, and these trees are like over 100 million years old and they predate the dinosaurs, and they existed when Australia and Antarctica were one continent, and they've got them here. I hope you've enjoyed this video and hopefully it gives you some great ideas on where to visit when you come to Byron Bay. I just wanted to mention, if you are staying in Byron Bay, try and get up early and head to the lighthouse to see if you can see the sunrise. It's definitely worth it. If you found this video helpful, please do leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.